Breaking news. Cooper Jo Frederick. He's in big trouble with the law, folks. Another Tesla firebomber arrested, folks. This is the fourth person arrested for firebombing a Tesla dealership, aka Tesla charging stations, in the last week or two. People are getting rounded up across the country. The domestic terrorism continues, and we're going to talk about these domestic terrorists. This is a 24-year-old individual, folks, from Colorado, from the Fort Collins area, Colorado. And this case is very bizarre, considering his family look like they're prominent Christians that support Donald Trump, which it makes this thing very interesting. We're going to talk. There's another man that was just arrested and indicted, or not indicted, but federally charged in Charleston, South Carolina yesterday. Another 24-year-old. His name is Pounder. I think it's Daniel Pounder. Yes, Daniel Clarke-Pounder. We're going to talk about him. He also firebombed Tesla charging stations. Whoa! Two 24-year-olds. One in South Carolina and one in Colorado, both charged within a 24-hour span of firebombing Tesla stations all across the country, folks. There are Tesla protests, people storming Tesla dealerships, people protesting Elon Musk, threats at Elon Musk, threats at Donald Trump. We previously talked about another one from Loveland, Colorado, named Lucy. Remember Lucy? Remember Lucy right here? From Colorado. The same Tesla dealership that Lucy firebombed. This guy firebombs the same one. This time it's a 24-year-old. What in the world is going on here, people, with these people that think, what are they trying to accomplish here? Are they triggered by Musk? Is there a call of action going on behind the scenes where organized groups are going around the country firebombing and burning Teslas? There's so many clips. We could literally be here for hours showing the amount of vandalism alone at Tesla dealerships. People spray painting Nazi stuff, people saying F Musk, F Trump, putting the X across these Tesla Cybertrucks have been vandalized. And then there was another incident, folks. There was another incident while I was about to come live. I was learning about another incident about another man who was arrested in Portland, Oregon for firebombing a Tesla dealership. So we got some crazy people out there, folks. I call it domestic terrorism. Pam Bondi calls it domestic terrorism. You're talking about the Attorney General, and she actually talked about this guy's arrest yesterday. They're rounding people up, and it looks like people are going to actually be charged with domestic terrorism. So who is this guy right here? We're going to talk a little bit about Cooper Jo Frederick. Come on down. You're the next contestant on JLR Investigates. We out and shame the domestic terrorisms. We keep public awareness about the terrorists. Know your terrorists. He's 24 years old. Now, his family, I think he's originally from Texas. His family has a lot of Texas stuff. Now, we're not going to put his family out there, but I will say, because every time these individuals get arrested, I scour the net and look all over the place to try to find any and all information about who these people are. I scour their social media profiles. I look around. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I find it all. And I scour around because I want to get a little understanding of what their mindsets are and why they do these criminal acts. Why do they do these criminal acts? What's in their head? What are they thinking? What do they post on social media? It's an indicator of where they lean, possibly politically or their belief system, right? He didn't have a social media profile, unfortunately. His family did, and his family got lots of pictures of him. Lots of pictures of him, and it is a Christian family that supports Donald Trump, which I'm very baffled. I'm very baffled, considering why would a son of a family that supports Donald Trump go firebomb a Tesla dealership? Why would he do that? Is he alienated a little bit from his family? I'm not so sure, because there's a lot of recent pictures with him and his family spending the holidays. He looks like he's a loved guy. He looks like he's provided a lot of resources. Looks like he comes from a family of privilege, white privilege. What went wrong here? What would compel someone, knowing that cameras are going to be everywhere? We live in an Orwellian society, a surveillance society, all over the place. Cameras. They see our every movement. So who in the right mind thinks they're literally going to go and firebomb a auto dealership or firebomb anything, any forms of arson? We're talking about molotov cocktail type stuff. And the way I'm reading it, he did it in the early morning hours, just like Lucy. Same dealership. One jailed after incendiary device thrown at Loveland Tesla building. A suspect has been arrested in connection to a case involving an explosive device being thrown at a Colorado dealership earlier this month. On Friday, yesterday, Loveland police announced the arrest of 24-year-old Fort Collins resident Cooper Jo Frederick in connection to a March 7th incident. So it happened about a week ago, when police said an explosive device was ignited and thrown. He did the act, and thrown at the building, landing between two cars. So he did the act. It's not just the talk. I'm going to do this Monday morning, blah, blah, blah. You know, some of these people all talk, and talks should be taken seriously too. But this guy, not only with the talk, it goes beyond First Amendment expression. It goes beyond that protest. He can claim he's a protest all he wants. Protester. He's not a protester. It's not free speech. He actually lit the Molotov cocktails and threw them. Looks like during the early morning hours, a Loveland police officer responded and extinguished the fire just after midnight, March 7th, while people were inside cleaning. What in this world? What is this guy even thinking? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about these terrorists. So, he's a 24-year-old with a loving family. Siblings, they all look happy. Christian family. And he goes rogue from his family, or is his family support this too? I'm not so sure, because his family supports Trump. So I find that odd. Nobody that's firebombing these places, these Tesla dealerships, none of them are supporting Trump. And I do think it's a lot of political things involved here. You know, where did this guy go to? Where did this guy get educated? What type of university treatment? Thank you, Jeff. Nice to see you, Jeff. Got the comment. Appreciate you being a loyal JLR Army supporter. We're shaming and outing and trying to get an understanding of these domestic terrorists. What went wrong here? Why would a guy from a 24-year-old kid, presumably, probably lives with his parents or definitely ties to his parents. He just spent Christmas with his mom and dad. Why would he go around and try to blow up a Tesla dealership with people inside cleaning? Someone could have got seriously hurt here, folks. You got cleaners inside there, and he's going to throw. Now imagine if that building caught on fire or there was an explosion. Boom. He could have destroyed the lives of innocent people just in there working a paycheck and having a job. There's something going on, right? Maybe, maybe not. I think so. He's also accused of throwing rocks at the building in several vehicles, trying to break the glass. What an idiot. The arrest was based off probable cause of pain through a continuing investigation concerning repeated acts at this same Tesla dealership. This is what I'm reading it from, so you guys know I am sharing the information. Here's where I'm reading it from. Here we go. Right here. One jailed. And they talk about him. 24-year-old Fort Collins resident Cooper Jo Frederick. Cooper Jo Frederick. So I'm reading this. This is not the first time this Tesla dealership got firebombed, folks. Keeps happening and happening and happening at the same one. Are all these people connected in any way? Do they correspond on Discord, Telegram, or any of those encrypted apps? He's booked in the Montgomery County Jail, charged with explosives used during a felony, a Class 2 felony, explosives or on an incendiary device, Class 5 felony, second-degree arson, business between $5,000 and $20,000, Class 5 felony, criminal mischief, $5,000 to $19,999, Class 5 felony, criminal attempt to commit Class 5 or 6 felony, Class 6 felony. The dealership that he firebombed was located at 1606 North Lincoln Avenue in Loveland and had been in the headlines multiple times this year after incidents of vandalism and the discovery of other explosives were reported. In late February, authorities arrest, you know who I'm about to show, Lucy Grace Nelson, a 40-year-old who uses the alias Justin Thomas Nelson. His real name is Justin Thomas Nelson, but he goes by Lucy. He transformed over the years. There's reports that he lives in with his mom, or he lived, and now he lives in a jail cell. Lucy, we've been, this is probably like the 4th or 5th time we've done a live and we shared it. Lucy's in big, big trouble. Lucy's literally going to do like 20 years for what Lucy did. They're all going to be indicted very, very soon. The federal government, all these firebombings, folks, are being taken over by the DOJ. And the DOJ is not playing anymore. And I'm telling you, these people do not want to play with the feds. These people don't want to play with the feds because this little 24-year-old little string bean dude, and I'm going to show you pictures of him. I got him off his family's Facebook page. This little string bean dude thinks he's cool and tough, right? This guy right here, he thinks he's edgy. He thinks he's cool. He thinks he's a tough guy, right? Oh, those inmates in the United States Penitentiary is going to have a field day with this guy. Oh, he's going to be Big Bubba's cellmate. He thinks he's cool. Yeah, look. He thinks he's cool. Right? Smoking a cigar. It's not funny anymore, Cooper Jo. You're going down. And I'm going to tell you. Straight up. If you are charged federally with anything in reference to domestic terrorism, you're not going to a cushy federal prison, folks. You're not going to Camp Cupcake. You're not going to those camps up there in the panhandle of Florida, those camps that are wide open. Ted Koppel went one time to do an investigative report, and the prisoners were playing tennis and swimming in the swimming pools at the military bases. Those federal prison days are not happening for him. He's not going to even a low security prison. He's not going to a low prison, folks, with domestic terrorism charges, which he's going to get very, very soon. This thing's getting kicked up, and I'll show you why. I'll show you why he's going to be charged federally, just like the other clowns. He's not going to a low where he's going to be in dormitories with other inmates thinking it's cushy and sweet and everything like that. Oh, no. This guy, 100% guaranteed, will be in a United States penitentiary. Beaumont, Texas, a.k.a. Bloody Beaumont. ADX, Florence, Colorado, which is called the Supermax of the Rockies. Now, we don't even talk about a lot. Well, we share my own prison experiences, but you don't want to go to ADX, Florence, Colorado, and I went there. I'm probably one of the very only individuals that actually been in the Supermax for a short time. I went on a hunger strike and got out of there eventually after 2 months, but I was there. And there's not many people on earth that were there. And I was there because of my own knucklehead stuff, filing grievances and lawsuits. It was retaliation. But I got out of there, and I can tell you, you don't want to go to ADX Florence, Colorado. Your mind goes down very quickly, isolated in just a cell without seeing hardly any sunlight whatsoever. The light is shined where it's angled. You can't really see the sky. You don't go outside. You go into a rec cage, and you sit in the cage and you pace back and forth in a little tiny room. And to go to that rec cage, you get brought out 5 days a week in handcuffs and belly chains. You get fed through a food slot. You get fed through a food slot. 3 meals a day. Weird hours. They come around, and if you're not at your door to get your food tray, they will skip you. He's going to be subjected to this literally for the next 20 years. Up to 20 years, unless he cooperates and shares the beans. And if he's working with a network of people, he might get some mercy. But he's in trouble. The dude's literally going to get indicted. They ain't playing. They're not playing anymore. They're not playing with this. This should be a reminder, and hopefully all these crazy anarchists, leftists, whatever you want to call them, Antifa, whatever you want to call them, hopefully they're watching this channel, because you don't want to do this. Literally, you don't want to do this. You don't want to go this route. You don't want to play with the feds. Because you will literally, and you're not even going to be remembered. You probably won't make it. Only reason I got out of ADX because I manipulated the process and went on a hunger strike and starved myself till they took me out of there and took me to a medical facility. And then I was able to get my way out of that, not going back to ADX Florence. Otherwise, I would have rotted away there to the end of my 10-year prison sentence for a white-collar, nonviolent crime. The federal sentencing guidelines are not a joke. You don't want to be federally charged, and they're coming. I'm telling you, they're coming. They're coming.
Mr. President talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. And I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies.
Mr. President talks
Hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? And guess what? Pam Bondi also spoke first, folks. Pam Bondi. And guess what? They indicted someone in Charleston or in South Carolina. They arrested someone. He's going to be indicted once you get that federal complaint. But they're not playing anymore, folks.
If you targeted someone, if you went after someone because of their political affiliation, we will be investigating you. We will be looking at you because that's the weaponization, and it has to stop. For instance, look what they're continuing to do, as I said, to Elon Musk. They are targeting Tesla dealerships, the stations where you charge a Tesla. They're vandalizing cars. I have already directed an investigation be opened to see how is this being funded, who is behind this, doing this. We have people we're locking up on that. We have someone in jail right now from one of the dealerships. They threw a molotov cocktail through a dealership. They're looking at up to 20 years in prison. So if you're going to touch a Tesla, go to a dealership, do anything, you better watch out because we're coming after you. Wow. And if you're funding this, we're coming after you. We're going to find out who you are.
And that's exactly, she didn't talk because we're going to talk about Daniel Ponder in a second, who was just arrested by the feds for doing the exact thing. Pam Bondi probably was talking about him. 20 years. You don't want to be labeled a domestic terrorism. Matter of fact, what they'll probably do with this guy, and you know, I hope his family's watching, because, you know, dumb move, bro. Dumb move. Stupid move. Dumb. Usually with those domestic terrorists, what they were doing, because I went to federal prison in 2002. And it was after 9/11. Now, when I went to federal prison, I went for a nonviolent white-collar crime, right? I went through the process. They gave me 10 years for a white-collar crime. I had no prior Serious criminal record. The only priors I have is some stupid prank phone calls I did when I was a juvenile in Pennsylvania. And they gave me 10 years for not, and I was shocked to the core because I thought I was only going to get a few years. And when I stood in front of the judge, and yes, I own up to what I did. I defrauded banks. Yes, I defrauded banks. Hacked into banks, stole banks' money. Not people's money, banks' money. Bank money insured by the FDIC. And at the time, going through the process, you know, I was optimistic because I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be out in a couple years. I'll be out in a couple years. I'll be out in a couple years. Well, guess what, folks? Those couple years turned into 10 years, followed by 5 years of supervised release for a non-violent crime. They don't play with the feds. Now, imagine if you do a domestic terrorism charge. Imagine if you were a drug dealer. Imagine if you do federally, like, violent stuff. They're giving like 20, 30, 40, 50 years like candy. Decades. And guess what they do to the domestic terrorists? So when I went in, you know, I've shipped around to different federal prisons. I've been to a lot. I've been to like 15 different federal prisons. I probably crossed the paths with probably 100,000 inmates in my 10-year span. I've been to a lot of places. Now, we're going a little bit, taking the story a little bit to me a little bit, right? But I think it's important to know because these people got to understand that they don't play in the feds. Now, of course, I challenge my sentence, you know, go through appeal, rubber stamp, denied. Hardly anyone ever wins their appeal on the federal level. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not. And don't even waste your time getting a lawyer with the feds. Stick with a public defender. I say get a private attorney if you're charged on a state case or a county case. They could get you some reduced time, yes. On the federal level, if you're federally indicted, don't even waste your time. Don't even waste unless you're some sort of rich tycoon, like your El Chapo or somebody like that, you got millions of dollars to spare, don't do that to your family. Don't make your family pay $100,000 on an attorney because they can do absolutely nothing for you. Nothing. Unless you debrief, 5K1 debrief and give them information, you might get in a reduced sentence. That's his only savior here. That's his only savior for any of these domestic terrorists that are going to be charged for firebombing Tesla dealerships. But don't get a lawyer because those lawyers will con you and make you think that you'll get out. I've seen it over and over and over and over again. When I'm sitting in the federal detention center before trial, and inmates are all cocky and they're in there and they're like, yeah, my lawyer said I'm going to get this amount of time, I'm going to get off. And then, you know, they go for their sentencing and they come back and they're crying and they're on their knees crying, I just got 20 years, 30 years, my lawyer lied, he didn't do nothing, he couldn't do nothing, he lied. Yes, they lie. They will bamboozle you and con and manipulate you because they want your money, kind of like a snake oil salesman. They'll take your money and they'll sell you the dream and they'll tell you, well, yeah, I'll make sure I get you a deal, I can get you out, whatever like that. You can't go against the federal government. They have unlimited resources. And if you're on a domestic terrorism charge or some sort of violent charge, forget about it. The federal sentencing guidelines are there and the judges really follow it strictly. They can, you know, they can depart. They also can enhance you. And they're not going to depart on domestic terrorism. They're not going to depart. The federal judges, particularly the new judges that are in town too. Trump is installing a bunch of judges, by the way, district judges. Every year, the federal president, you know, the president installs more judges and appoints more judges, more judges. And I'm telling you, these judges nowadays are aligning with Donald Trump's policies. And you don't want to play with the federal government of Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and Donald Trump. You don't. Whether you support them or not, you don't want to play with it. You don't want to mess with them. They mean serious business, and I see it coming. It's not talk, folks. It's not talk. It's not talk. Those judges have zero fear, and they don't care who you are in front of you, and they'll give you can cry and beg and get on your knees and beg for mercy and forgiveness and sell some sort of sob story and try to do everything, single thing, mitigating whatever to the judges. They will throw 30 years at you without hesitation. And on to the next one, and on to the next one. And then, once you're labeled as a domestic terrorism, you go, again, ADX Florence, Colorado. After when I was at the time, a lot of people were coming in were the terrorists from 9/11, like 9/11, like people like charged with terrorism, a lot of foreigners that were arrested for, you know, supporting Al Qaeda and stuff like that. They would be put into these units at like Terre Haute, Indiana, Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, Beaumont, Texas, Coleman, Florida, the USP Coleman, and you're locked in all day. You're locked in. You're not running around the rec yard. You're not getting recreation. You're locked in all day long. And that's what's going to happen to these people. I hope these terrorists are watching. Is it going to be worth it? Why would you want to squander 20, 30 years of your life away for, what, firebombing a Tesla dealership, which you're playing with someone that has billions of dollars, Elon Musk, and all that is insured. It's just going to be replaced. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to make change. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's nuts. And they're all going down. They're all going down. So right now, he's charged locally. I can almost guarantee, though, he's going to be charged federally soon. They've got probably about a month or two to indict. And when they do, I'm going to share it with all of you. But anyway, this little pipsqueak, he goes from a loving family to domestic terrorism. What in the world happened here? What in the world happened here? I'm not even going to show the other one. He goes from a loving family to a domestic terrorist. You're going down, pal. Look. He's a dog lover. One thing these idiots don't realize is he's never going to see that dog again. You lose your pets. You lose everything. Ain't nobody going to be waiting for you when you get out in 20, 30 years. They ain't going to be waiting for him. He's not going to have a defense fund like Luigi. He's not even being talked about right now. He's forgotten. It's a blip on the radar. He's not a martyr. He's a fool. That dog he was just petting. He's never going to be able to touch that dog again. That dog's not going to be around in 20 years. So he's just going to have little flashbacks of petting his dog and loving his dog. Poor dog. If it was his dog, that sucks for the dog. Because the dog loses its owner. He did a selfish act and ruined his family and ruined his life for a stupid, dumb decision. That dog's not going to be around waiting for him when he gets out in 20 years. And, you know, I'm not saying he's going to get 20 years, but unless he squeals, unless he's part of a network. If it's part of a network, he might have some leverage. You can go to the federal government and go, I want to talk. Let me meet the FBI agents down there at the bottom of the jail cell. FBI agents come in, they take him, put him on the table. He's with his attorneys. They slide him a piece of paper. They say, debrief, share, spill the beans. What do you know? But I want to let you know, if you lie to us with anything you tell us, we're going to enhance you and give you an obstruction of justice charge. You got to tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's his only way he's going to get less than 20 years. Maybe he'll get 10 years, maybe. But that dog probably won't even be around in 10 years from now. The dog looks old, poor dog. The only thing he's going to have to see is the memories when he gets pictures sent to him. That's it. You can't have dogs sent to you. But his family, and it's crazy. It's crazy because I'm looking at his mom's Facebook page. And his mom just recently posted a post saying, Happy Son's Day to the best son ever. So many amazing memories with my boy over the years. Love this guy so much. And it's his mom. It's his mom. Posting pictures of him as a little kid holding a Hershey bar. Posting pictures of his dad taking him to hockey games. Posting pictures of, you know, him getting birthday cake and hugging his family. It's all gone. So I really do feel bad for his parents because I don't think the guy's parents are involved. But he ruined his life. He ruined his life. For what? For what? And I don't feel bad. I feel bad for his mom because, going across his mom's profile, she's nothing but a prominent person. Looks like they're established. Looks like they got money. Looks like they travel. Looks like, the parents give love to the siblings. What went wrong? What went wrong? What went wrong? You don't get these in federal prison. You don't get what's that? Mochas? Frappuccino? Now, some people might say this is bad parenting. And say, bad parenting. But, he's a 24-year-old. He made his bed. He's 24 years old. He's not a kid. Parents give you opportunity. Some do, some don't. Some individuals come from crazy lifestyles and still make it okay. Others come from great lifestyles and mess up. But he's not a kid. He's 24 years old. 24 years old. Be out by the time he's 50. Loses out on his 20s, 30s. Now, the reason why I kind of like honing in on this guy pretty hard is because, he was the same age when I did my crime. I was in my early 20s. Thought I was slick. Thought I could defraud banks. Thought I wouldn't be on surveillance. Thought I couldn't get caught. Also thought what I was doing was not a crime. And I lost all my 20s in prison. In very bad conditions. In federal prison. Federal prison. And you know what? It really did really serious things on me with my own struggles. Even getting out of federal prison, it took me a long, long time to adjust to society. I had no idea how to function in society. Even violating. You got to dig in deep. Persevere. I'm shocked where I'm at today because I feel like I'm kind of like a success story, comeback story, right? Try to use my own personal experiences for word of wisdom. I made poor choices, trying to strive to be a better person every day. Follow the law, pay your taxes, live responsibly. Surround yourself with winners. Believe in God. Try that every day. We're all fallible, but there's no excuse whatsoever to pick up a molotov cocktail and chuck it at a dealership. Could have blown. What about the firefighters? That was going to put out the fire. What about they got injured or hurt? Panic. It's crazy. It's crazy. But again, shifting to the next one. Before I shift to the next one, this the Tesla dealership that he firebombed. He's done it, or it's been done 5 times now. 5th time. This article came out. It might be the 6th time. No, because this is March 7th. So this could be the Tesla dealership in Loveland. Target of crime yet again. 5th time in over 5 weeks. It's the 5th time. It's the 5th time, folks. The 5th time. He maybe would have done it. He probably was. Did he do it before? A Colorado dealership was the target of crime yet again. 1606 North Lincoln Avenue has been hit with vandalism, explosive devices, spray painting, and arson. Now 5 times since January. 5 times since January. At the same time, listen, don't be like Cooper Jo, and definitely don't be like Lucy, because both of them, and they're probably friends. Cooper, maybe they're in a relationship. I don't know. Cooper and Lucy, they both firebombed the same Tesla dealership. Dude, they're watching those Tesla dealerships like a hawk. You would be a fool in the United States of America right now, considering what you just heard from Pam Bondi, what you just heard from Donald Trump. You would be an idiot if you think you're going to firebomb or do any vandalism at a Tesla dealership moving forward. Don't do it. Don't do it. One, you don't think all those Tesla dealerships right now are putting up mass security, surveillance, technology to monitor their Tesla dealerships? You don't think that law enforcement is probably staking out and watching these Tesla dealerships, watching the street cams right now? Oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. Don't be like Lucy. Don't be like Cooper. Don't be like these people in Colorado or anywhere in the nation. So let's hope that this dealership doesn't get defaced anymore. We're moving on to the next person. We're moving on to the next one, folks, because this one is a beauty. This one's scary. This is the one Pam Bondi, I believe, was talking about. Let's take you to Mr. Ponder. Another domestic terrorist. Another domestic terrorist. He's also 24. Texas grown. Thank you. Texas grown with the message. Anyone who made life fun tested the waters. JLR, this is for you. Thank you. All right, so this guy here is also in big trouble with the law. Now, there's a news report. I'm going to share the news report. Then we're going to read the statement by the DOJ. Now, the other guy, he's charged locally. He's going to be charged with the feds. Trust me. Trust me. He's going to be charged with the feds. He's going to be charged with the feds. But this guy here, Ponder, let's listen in to see exactly what in the world he did.
Say they found a sticker that read gasoline and fire never mix, which is commonly.
News 9 James Island man has been arrested and charged with arson after trying to destroy a Tesla charging station. Daniel Clarke-Pounder was in federal court today. Our Emily Deanne is in North Charleston at that Tesla charging station tonight. Emily, you went through the court documents today. What did you learn?
Well, the documents from the U.S. Attorney's Office say on March 7th, Clarke-Pounder vandalized with spray paint these Tesla stations before throwing molotov cocktails and then running away through the woods over there. The documents say Clarke-Pounder spray painted the words F Trump and Long Live Ukraine. These are pictures included showing the bottles officials say he threw at the charging stations, as well as surveillance images and pictures of items recovered from Clarke-Pounder's car. Investigators say they found a sticker that read gasoline and fire never mix, which is commonly found on gas cans. They also found clothing that matched the surveillance video and a receipt for beer that matched the bottles that were lit on fire. We got the 911 calls from that night with people shocked at what they were seeing.
There's some guy, I think he's trying to blow up the supercharger. He knocked on my window and he had something in, like a bottle in his hand. And then he knocked on my window. I unplugged my car and I just drove away. When I was driving away, I saw smoke, and it looked like he was lighting something on fire.
Clarke-Pounder was arrested Thursday. The case was investigated by the Bureau of Tobacco, Alcohol, Firearms, and Explosives, North Charleston Police, and North Charleston Fire. Clarke-Pounder faces a maximum sentence of 20 years in federal prison, and he is expected for a preliminary hearing on March 17th. Working for you, Emily Deanne, News 4.
Whoa, folks. Did you pick something up on that one? Because I picked something up. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. Between Clarke-Pounder and Mr. Cooper. Now, he was in Loveland, Colorado, 24 years old. Did you listen to the date on what we just shared? When he, in Colorado, used a Molotov cocktail and firebombed the Tesla dealership in Loveland, he did it on March 7th. March 7th. 24 years old. This guy, 24 years old, Charleston, South Carolina, also did what he did, the exact same act, March 7th. Huh! I didn't even pick up on that time and date. Are they connected in any way? Is this some sort of, they're both 24. Huh! That is very interesting, folks. Let's try to put the pieces together here. I think it's connected. Both do the exact same act on the exact same day in two different Tesla dealerships, and they're both the same age. Do you think that's coincidence? I think not. So this is what I'm going to read here about, and he's charged federally, so he's screwed. James Island man charged for arson of a North Charleston Tesla charging station. That's what I'm going to read here. He's 24 years old. Daniel Clarke-Pounder. Yeah, they're going to pound him in prison. Oh, yeah. Another one. It's going to get pounded. And you know what I'm talking about. In the shower, in his cell. Yeah, he's going to get pounded, all right. These people think they're froggy. They have no idea what's coming. When they're labeled domestic terrorism and they're putting USPs. They're not going to cushy camps. Oh, no, they're not going to cushy camps. Nope. Now, I was cool in federal prison. I never had a problem with anybody. No one ever even tested me. Never got into any fights, anything like that. I was well liked. I was pretty cool in the federal prison. You know, I did a lot of, like, legal work for people. I was real liked. I respected people's boundaries. Go out in the rec yard, do, you know, a lot of running when I was in general population before I was shipped around to different places. I was pretty cool. Never had a problem. Never having a problem. I was safe. I mean, you're literally living on edge. You got to go take a shower with your boots on. It's pretty crazy. But I was cool. But, you know, these are the type of people, especially him. This guy, oh, yeah. They're gonna do some things. Yeah, for sure. Him, it's not gonna go well. Him, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen like photos of. Well, actually, I do have photos of him. Actually, I got his Instagram. I found his Instagram. You don't have it. Well, he has an old Facebook. Very weird things posted on his Facebook. Daniel Clarke-Pounder, 24, of James Island, has been arrested in charges related to an arson at North Charleston Tesla charging station. The complaint alleges that on March 7th, the North Charleston Police Department and North Charleston Fire Department responded to a Tesla charging station on Tanger Outlet Boulevard to reports of an arson. Witnesses reported that a man spray painted in red paint, F Trump, Long Live Ukraine, in a Tesla charging station parking lot. The man then pulled out 5 explosive devices, commonly known as molotov cocktails, and threw them at the Tesla chargers, damaging the chargers. Agents with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives investigated the arson and identified the suspect, Daniel Clarke-Pounder. He was arrested last night, which was last night. Well, actually, Thursday night. They put this report out on Friday, yesterday. So he was arrested Thursday night and arraigned Friday afternoon in federal court. While we will defend the public's right to... Look at this. This is the statement they said. While we defend the public's right to peacefully protest, we will not hesitate to act when protest crosses the line into violence and mayhem. These kinds of attacks have no place in our community, said Acting U.S. Attorney Brooke B. Andrews for the District of South Carolina. Acting U.S. Attorney. By the way, the President of the United States, he appoints those U.S. attorneys. And he's been appointing the U.S. attorneys in each federal district to align with his policies. Again, you have Donald Trump, the president. You have Pam Bondi, the attorney general. You have Kash Patel of the FBI. And you got these attorney generals on top of a lot of Trump-appointed judges. Now, not all the district judges, U.S. district judges, are Trump-appointed. But something tells me, and that's, I'll tell you a little bit of something that I suspect. They won't say this, and they try to say it's random. But when you get federally indicted, they'll say you randomly go in front of a federal judge, and that federal judge that's handling your case is a random picked judge. I don't think so, folks. I think they select the defendant based off the judge. Like, what they do is they know what judge they're going to pick to handle that defendant's case. And I think in this era, I think a lot of these people, when they go in front of their federal judges and stuff like that down the line, possibly, you know, he's going to see a magistrate judge. That's, you know, a little bit different. Get it up to the district judge. It could be a district judge that aligns with Donald Trump's policies. So if you get a district judge that was appointed by Trump or a Republican judge, this guy's toast. He's literally done with the federal government. By the way, the prosecutors really run the show. It's not the federal judges. Federal judges really align with whatever the prosecutor wants 99% of the time. So whatever the prosecutor says, hey, Your Honor, we're recommending, it's a guideline sentence. There could be C caps, whatever. They can set times. Your Honor, we're asking for 5 years. The chances of you getting over 5 years, judges don't go above what the prosecution recommends. Sometimes they go below if you can have various departures, things like diminished capacity and different things, safety valves. I haven't been in trouble before, whatever like that. Now, he's had some arrests in the past. DUIs, open containers, reckless driving, nothing serious. But he's done. He's done. He's going to be labeled a domestic terrorist. You think federal judges are going to give domestic terrorists a slap on the wrist, considering the climate? I don't think so. Nope. And South Carolina. Whoa, you don't want to play with South Carolina, right? Not only with the state, but the feds, both kind of like align with one another. And we know in South Carolina, you commit a violent crime, you almost have a 0% chance of even making parole. Remember we've been covering those parole hearings with Susan Smith? And everybody on the parole that we're seeing in front of the board, denied. You don't get out on parole in South Carolina. In the feds, you don't have parole. And then also, folks, a lot of people that I've bumped into in federal prison that were indicted in the District of South Carolina, whether it's Columbia, Greenville, Charleston area, whatever, Beaufort, they're getting hammered. Those judges hammer you in South Carolina. Those federal judges hammer you in South Carolina. You don't play in South Carolina. So if he's facing up to 20 years, I see him getting maybe an 18-year piece. How about that? We are grateful for the prompt response of our first responders and law enforcement. We must remain united in our commitment to safety and respect for all, regardless of political differences. We are very proud of the response by our special agents and the collaborative effort on this investigation between ATF, the North Charleston Police Department, and the North Charleston Fire Department, said Special Agent Benny Mims. Our certified fire inspectors played an especially critical role here to identify the evidence that led us to the suspect. What was it? Fingerprints? Our investigation program proved to be an important factor in the outcome of this investigation. We're grateful to have played a part in bringing this individual to justice. He was arraigned before Magistrate Judge Gordon Baker, 1:30 p.m. yesterday. He's locked up. He didn't get bond. That's another thing, too. No matter how much money you think you have, no matter how much money your parents have, mommy and daddy's not going to get you out of federal prison. Because most of the time, all the prosecutor has to say is a danger to the community and flight risk. And you're going to have all the money in the world. And you're going to get no bond. You're going to get no bond. So Pounder, yeah, he's going down. Pounder is going down. I found his Instagram. Know your domestic terrorists. Know your domestic terrorists. Here he is. Here he is. Look, he's riding a turtle. He's riding a turtle. That's Pounder riding a turtle. This looks like him in his younger years. This was posted 21 weeks ago. Yeah, it's him. It's him. Oh, you're not going to get those chicken and wings while you sit there in the prison chow hall. 21 weeks ago. No, actually, October 13th, 2024, he posts a photo of chicken and wings. Oh, there you are. Found you. We got you. Found you. Yep. Pounder. Oh, Pounder. What's going on, Pounder? Oh. We found you. Gotcha. Busted. Yeah, he's making a lot of posts in Charleston anyway. Oh, look. All types of things here. All types of things. All types of things for Pounder. There was another photo. Let me see if I can get that photo. Yeah, you don't want to play I'm telling you, these protesters. And here's a good, yeah, here. Look at this. He even has, what's going on here? There he is. There's Pounder. Yep. We got a match. Ding, 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 ding. The hair, the nose, the little point of the nose. Haven't posted in 3 years. Whoop, well, I'm a mechanic now, he says. June 24th, he posts that he's a mechanic. Probably use some of that mechanic stuff to make these Molotov cocktails. What do you think? And what is that? What in the world's going on here? Is that Jesus? I'm enjoying life. See you all in another 5 years. That's what he says. I'm enjoying life. You're not enjoying life, pal. Your life is about to be... Oh, no beaches for you. No beaches for you. Oh, yeah. Why would he ruin all that? For throwing Molotov cocktails at a Tesla dealership. Why would you ruin that beach? Look at that beach. Charleston Beach. You ever go to Myrtle Beach? Those beaches in South Carolina, they're beautiful. They don't have beaches in federal prison. They don't have beaches in federal prison. And when you're labeled a domestic terrorist, you're going to be locked in your cell all day long. Look, he's with his friends. He's posting with his friends all this good, yummy food. They don't serve macaroni and cheese like that. He posted this June 24th. They don't serve, what is that, tater tots? That stuff looks good. Hush puppies. Yeah, you ain't getting hush puppies in federal prison, pal. You ain't getting hush puppies in federal prison. You ain't getting that yummy mac and cheese and chicken. What is that? Pork chops? Stuff looks good. I'm hungry. I'm literally hungry, folks. You don't get all that in federal prison, right? I don't think so. I don't think so. All your friends. I wonder if your friends are involved. Nah, I'm not even going to go that route. Not even going to say that. I'm sure other people were egging him on. I'm sure he's probably involved with a network of people out there. You think this is just a lone wolf? I think not. I think not. Daniel Clarke-Pounder. So we got that guy there. Yeah, this was a very weird post here. We got that guy there. We talked about Lucy. We talked about Mr. Cooper Jo. Talked about a lot of them. But let's talk about a few more things. Got a few more things we need to talk about. These protests that have been going on around the country. I don't know if they're a breeding ground. I don't know if people affiliated with these protests are taking it to the next level. But as we previously discussed, there's people storming Tesla dealerships, locking arms, doing vandalism, protesting, doing wild and crazy things in these Tesla dealerships. get the point, folks. That's what they've been doing around the country. Protesting at these Tesla dealerships. Tesla dealerships. And I do think people within those ranks are not as peaceful. It's not peaceful. I mean, they know it's criminal. They're going, literally charging into these stations and storming the stations. Remember this guy? Remember we talked about this guy? He's out on bond. This guy's the one who was making threats at Musk. I really haven't checked the status of this guy. He was arrested in, oh, by the way, he was in Indiana. The Cherry guy. He's out there still rambling and posting crazy stuff. Look this guy up. David Cherry. Indiana. He was saying some really crazy things about Musk. It's all dealing with Musk and Tesla. It's everyone aggravated because Elon Musk works with the Trump administration, Doge. He's been purging the federal payrolls. Remember this guy? Another one? I don't know if he's out on bond or what. Not much information on him. He was the one from Tennessee that was going to bomb thermite, using thermite, a Elon Musk super AI facility out in Memphis, Tennessee area. He was going to do some sort of bombing. No, it's crazy, folks. There are crazies out there. Oh, and then we're going to talk about this one here. Forgot about the fourth one. Now, I don't have a picture of this individual. The only thing that's out there is really this. But this is some scary stuff too, folks, because it goes to the firebombing. What happened here? Because this just got brought to my attention. Now, this happened. It's posted in a report by Fox 59 News in Portland, Oregon on March 6th. Day before those other two clowns did the fire bombings in Loveland and Charleston. This was March 6th, the day before. A Oregon man accused of trying to destroy property at Tesla dealership in Salem twice since January has been arraigned on federal charges. Adam Matthew Lansky, it's a 41-year-old man. That looks like literally like ISIS. This looks like ISIS was involved with this. He was arrested Tuesday after authorities linked him to reports that someone had been throwing molotov cocktails and shooting up at the dealership on 2 occasions. And he got arrested on March 6th. The first instance, January 20th, involved a molotov cocktail, according to court documents. The subject walked between the building and the parking and the vehicles parked in front of it, then pulled out a bag and started lighting an object on fire. The subject threw the object at a red Tesla SUV parked in front of the building, which started to catch on fire, and then threw an object through the showroom window. The subject proceeded to throw 4 more objects at other vehicles parked in front of the building. A month later, on February 19th, officials received reports that someone had caused damage by firing bullets into the same building and vehicle. Court documents said the suspect, had been carrying an AR-15 style rifle with a suppressor. Jesus, this is crazy. Investigators later said Lansky could be spotted in video surveillance throwing the Molotov cocktails that struck the dealership building and several vehicles. He is a Salem resident, was charged by criminal complaint with illegally possessing an unregistered destructive device. He will remain in custody until his next court hearing. Whoa! Call of Fruity. Yeah, Fruit Loop. Talk about Fruit Loop. This dude took it to crazy levels twice. First, Molotov cocktails, and then an AR-15 style rifle and shooting the windows in the dealership. That's what the federal government is dealing with, ladies and gentlemen, with all these domestic terrorists. The domestic terrorist. Domestic terrorist. Domestic terrorist. Domestic terrorist. And then we got Lucy. Lucy. Domestic terrorist. This is scary times we're in. That's 4 that I've uncovered. Now, there's been others that have been charged with, like, threats. These are 4 that I've identified that actually did these molotov cocktails. And I think they're all part of a network. I really do. Do you? Do you think it's true or not? That is the question. So we got our eyes on the situation. We're definitely monitoring this, and we'll definitely shame the criminals and bring public awareness to what's going on. We got a comment from Morse. Thank you. Morse said, JLR, look at their eyes. They are dark, and some are black eyes. I've been seeing it for the past couple years. I am not sure why, but you can tell if they are good people by their eyes. Now, let's look at these eyes. Let's look at these eyes. And I concur with you on that, and I appreciate that. There's just something dark about these eyes. There's just something dark. Like they have lost souls, or they lost their soul, maybe during 2020, maybe during COVID stuff. It's just their souls are gone. Very scary. For sure. No, I appreciate that comment. That's a great comment. And we've touched on the eyes before with these people. Now, I fixed this guy's face up a little bit because it was all like, I don't know, in South Carolina, their mugshots come up a little grainy, so we had to clear it up a little bit. This guy, here's his actual mugshot. Here, let me go. It's the same thing. It's the same look, but let me get this. They share this mugshot. It's all like grainy and everything like that, so we kind of like spruce it up a little bit. So Pounder. So we will continue to monitor these domestic terrorists out there, share them and try to put these pieces together. Are they working in a coordinated network of individuals? And will we see more Tesla fire bombings, protests, and things like that? They are protesting left and right all over the place. We got our eyes on the situation for sure. If any other persons get arrested in reference to firebombing, you will hear it here on JLR Investigates, so make sure you sub up to the channel. That concludes this segment, Tesla Terrorists. Let me know what you think in the comment. Sub to the channel, like, hit the notification button. Thank you, members. Subs, sub up. We take deep dives, deeper than what most people go. We share the not politically correct on JLR Investigates, and we call it out as it is. Can you justify what they've done in any way? You think they're heroes? Does anyone have any sympathy for these individuals? Is anyone sympathetic to what they're doing? Let me know in the comments. We allow everyone to have an opinion. Keep your opinions coming in the chat. I will read it. We will talk soon. We got more breaking news coming up, so stay tuned. Reporting from the JLR Batcave. Thanks for watching. Until next time, everyone, stay safe out there. JLR Investigates. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you. See you later.